Hello everyone, welcome back. I've got some new goodies in from Knightfall's custom holsters. So I've got two new inside the waistband holsters for the P80 Glock 43. Okay, let me show you. Now this is not an initial reviews video because that's what I've been carrying for like the last 8 months. Okay, so that's their info. So put this side, down so the window doesn't take it. So that's this Knightfall's holster that I have here for the Glock 43 is what I've been carrying now for about 8 months. I think about 2 months after I got this, I ended up getting this one here from Knightfall's custom. This is also for the G43, but this one is set up to take a light. Okay, so that's for the TLR7 sub. Okay, and this is really great for when I'm practicing at night. I did try carrying this for a couple of weeks. I ended up going back to the one I have without the light. The reason is it does make it a little, it does make it the holster just a little bit longer. And when I sit down in the car, I can feel it. I did a specific review on this holster, which by the way has some nice, a different pattern there that I had ordered. The reason why I don't carry a light on my everyday carry gun is because the way I see it, you can't use light on your gun to identify, right? So I gotta use my pocket light. And at the point that I've identified a deadly threat, I'm not going from this light to that light to the trigger. I'm probably going from this light straight to the trigger, because I've already identified the threat. I have an idea of where they're standing. So that's the most likely scenario, okay? In which case, the light on the gun is just extra weight, a little extra bulk. So I covered that in the previous video. So most of the time I'm carrying the P80 G43 in this holster, which is the same exact thing as the holster that you see right here. Okay. Now when I ordered this, I ordered it with what they call the full length sweat guard, so that this piece comes all the way up, right? Because I don't want the gun up against my body if I can avoid it. So it comes up a little bit higher, and they give you an option as far as the clip to hold it to your belt, and I order it with the clip foamy. And they do have another option. I want the holster to be as small as possible, because basically when let's say I gotta use a public restroom, I don't want to leave the holster on my belt because I don't want it hitting the floor and being seen. So what I'll do is I'll take the gun off my belt and I'll shove it in my pocket where it's nice and secure. Again, the gun stays inside the holster because the holster is the safety mechanism for the striker fired gun. And then when I'm done, I can just, put my pants, take the gun out, and then I can put this back on my belt. Okay. Now, what I did here is, first of all, the reason why I got another righty holster, right? Because this is righty inside the waistband, is because a lot of times I'm traveling around to different gun ranges, and I want people to be able to try this out, see how they like it. But I also got a lefty one. Okay, so this is the lefty one because I have a lot of clients that are lefties. So into the lefty one over here, and also I like to shoot lefty. All right. So one of the nice things about one of the things I like about Knightfall's custom holsters is that they're like already set up to do polymer 80s. When you go to order on their website, they got a drop-down menu. And they've got options to cut it, right? That's a big thing. The holster has to be cut to the optic. And I have used different companies in the past where the cut wasn't perfect, where I kind of had to finish it myself with a Dremel. And in fact, some of those companies, when I did try to order a holster for them that was optic cut, they said they no longer did it. And the reason is because there's lots of different optics out there. So, when you're cutting a holster to fit an optic, there's extra work involved, and a lot of companies don't want to deal with it. The thing is, my thing is, at this point, optics on pistols are proven. You guys seen videos where I'm moving and shooting. I can hit the targets at close distance, at far distance. You guys see me shooting these pistols at 65 yards. Optics make you better, okay? I mean, obviously the fundamentals have to be there, but they will amplify your skills, okay? So at this point, every gun should have an optic on it in order for it to be considered anything other than an antique that sits in your safe. Okay, that's my opinion. But everybody I put on guns with optics is better. All the beginners that I train, I go straight to optics. Okay, first of all, especially with the women, what I found in the past is when I put them on guns without optics, sometimes they, it was like a 50-50 if they were gonna like it or not like it. Like I would put women on ARs that had optics, they loved it. I would, before that, like when I first started training women, before optics were common, it was sometimes a 50-50. A lot of times they really didn't like the idea of matching up the sights. As soon as I put a red dot on it, all of a sudden my success rate with women went from like 50% up to like 98% as far as them liking it, taking to it, wanting to shoot it. And then when I saw they wanted to shoot the ARs, they didn't care so much for the pistols that had just iron sights, right? So on the pistols, it was more of like a 40% chance, or 30 to 40% chance that they were gonna take to the pistols and really like shooting it. As soon as I put these optics on the pistols, now it's closer to like 80-90% that they're going to enjoy shooting the pistols and they're going to want to shoot pistols. So optics is definitely the way to bring new shooters into this game. So anyway, like I was saying, Knightfall's custom, this is like something that they do it regularly, they do it well. And sometimes when I order from different companies where they're kind of like trying to figure it out almost for me, these guys do it. It's like when I order a holster from these guys and I tell them I want an optic cut, I know that it's going to come and I could just pretty much just drop it into the gun and it's going to fit. Okay, so a good tip for you guys: look at the things that I buy multiple items of, right? So sometimes you'll see me review something and I have one of those items. Question is, do I go back and buy a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth one? Okay, when you see me ordering these things 2 at a time, all right, that's a really good indication that it's a good product. Okay, especially since I train people full time. My time is valuable, so I don't want to waste. If I try to put somebody on a product that's kind of iffy, it ends up taking more time. So I want to put people immediately on the thing that's going to work the best. Okay, so anyway, let's have a little fun here. I got this one as a lefty, so the cool thing is I'm going to put this on the left side. This is the left. Is that no? This is the left. That's the left. Okay. See optics on it. Okay. So what we do is we're going to move the extra magazine over. Move the what's this? The cell phone case over. We loosen my belt up a little bit. And this is the first time I'm trying this, so I don't know how well it's going to work, but let's have some fun with it. No, actually, I went inside my underwear. Right. I don't know how that's going to affect this, but let's get this outside my underwear. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. Let's get that in there. All right, so that's clipped on now. I have not adjusted the tension on this, so tighten this belt up over here. Let's see how this is coming out of the holster on the left side. Come out. That's fine. Put my shirt up. Get you back in there. Oh, it's caught up on my shirt. Back out. Yeah, so this is a new thing for me now. Obviously, I'm not going to carry 2 guns on me unless there's some serious shit going on in town. But this is a fun thing to play with. Okay. All right, so I got here the new Z9 magazine from Shield Arms. This is for the Glock 43. It's a 9-round magazine, and then with one in the chamber, you get a total of 10 rounds. I've been testing this out. Okay. Get that extra round in there. Okay. Put my fingers on. All right, let's have a little fun with this one. Let me get into this way, you guys. Let me move you guys so you guys can see me. Never really saw. That should be right good right there. All right, good. So I'll stand where you guys can see the draw. Come out. Get that closer. I like practicing one-handed. In my offhand, I'm normally right-handed, so I love shooting left-handed. So this is a new thing for me now. Go for the back. So I like these. I really like these Knight custom holsters. I know that I can order from this company, and they're gonna send me something that's gonna fit the gun, fit the optics, specifically with the polymer 80s, right? Because you know, it's one thing if you're buying, let's say, like a Glock MOS, right, factory Glock. You know, you got more options out there, but if you're buying a polymer 80, you got a lot less options out there. So seems like Knight Customs holster, Knightfall's custom holster has really figured this thing out pretty good. And the nice thing about them is that they're also very responsive to emails. Because like specifically with this one over here, what I did is I didn't know what light to get and what holster to get. So I told them that, hey, listen, I have a polymer 80 G43. What light should I buy? And you know, that will fit one of your holsters, right? And then they told me buy the TLR 7 sub, and then they told me to go to their website which holster to order, and they told me in their notes to specifically say what I was doing. So they're very responsive like that, which I like, and I have spoken to them a couple times when I was ordering, where like the first time when I had questions about what to order. So the nice thing about this company is that, you know, they're big enough that they have lots of options, because they make holsters for like all guns, more or less, including the polymer 80s. But they're small enough that you can send them an email and get a response. And in fact, when I sent out the email, I think it was like 6, 7 o'clock at night. And in both cases, I had sent the email out in the evening, and I got like an almost immediate response in the evening, right? You know, so this, you know, I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, but this is either the owner of the company that's looking at these emails, or somebody that has a vested interest in making sure that the customers are happy. And I don't get paid by them. I don't get freebies from them. I'm just sharing with you guys my experience with them. And specifically with the polymer 80s that I love, one of the problems that people typically have is matching up holsters to their polymer 80s. So this is a good place to start. In fact, you know, I'm a member. You know, I'm in a number of polymer 80 building groups, including one that I run myself called building Palmer 80s before the August 2022 deadline. And from time to time, people will come in there and they'll say, what holster to buy for this gun or that gun. And it's like almost every time people will jump up and they'll say Knightfall's Custom. They'll say others as well, but Knightfall's Customs always comes in there like multiple times as a recommendation. And I've never heard anybody say anything bad about Knightfall's Custom. So, and like I said, don't just, when you look at my reviews, look at how much do I own of a particular product? How many holsters have I bought? Same thing, how many optics, how many guns do I own from a particular company? So the quantity matters. If I really like something, and I'm happy with it, I keep going back to it. Okay, so thanks for watching. If you're not a member of my channel, subscribe. Make sure you guys are following me on my other channels on Rumble. I'm Pocono Guns. On Odyssey, I'm Pocono Tactical. Also on HugeTube, Gun Streamer, I'm Pocono Tactical. On YouTube, I've got Absolute Guns, Pocono Shooting, and Safa. And the reason why I have all these channels is because I'm trying to stay ahead of the censors. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon.